Nerd Lag Game Club.
Welcome to the Nerd Lag Game Club podcast, the podcast where we play games instead of reading books. I'm Corey, and I'm joined by three party members today: Lauren,
Hey.
Tonsa,
Yo!
and Danboy.
Hello.
In this episode of the Game Club, we're climbing into our mechs and playing 2010's Front Mission Evolved. Front Mission Evolved was developed by Double Helix Games and published by Square Enix. Double Helix Games has developed other games such as Strider and Silent Hill Homecoming, so all of their games are very different from one another. Before we get any further into Front Mission Evolved, I want to give the spoiler warning, and I would recommend playing this before listening to this episode. This was our game for the month of September, and I'm going to give a brief summary of the story for Front Mission Evolved. Front Mission Evolved follows Dylan Ramsey, an engineer for the USN, which is, I guess, a collaboration of like the US in that world. As he's trying out a prototype wanzer, the city of New York City is attacked, and then he's worried about his father's safety, so he sets off to go find him, and then he finds himself enlisted in the army, and the story progresses from there. Kind of a weird way to get you into the game, but I guess it is what it is. I do want to try something new this episode, and I'm going to introduce all the main characters in the game. As I previously stated, we play as Dylan Ramsey, which is our main protagonist. We also meet Russell Hamilton, which is the captain of the 72nd unit, which is the unit we're in. Godwin Mosley, which is the general of UCS. Adela Sewell, which is our partner and the love interest in this game. Ooh. Jed Gordon, a member of OCU, which is another nation. Ute Han. Is that how you say his name?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I don't have it in front of me, so I don't know.
He just goes by Yoon most of the time. But he's a member of DHZ. And last important character is Cornelius Werner, which is the main antagonist of the game. He's kind of a bastard. At each episode, we like to break up the main points of the game between us. And starting out with gameplay and mechanics, we're going to find out what Front Mission Evolved is from Tonsa.
Hold on. How do you miss his dad?
His dad's not that important.
This is the whole
He's
reason you
really
do
not.
everything.
He's in like two missions. One mission.
Yeah, he
The whole
literally...
reason you even join the army and stuff is because, like,
But you
everything
go
to do with your
there,
dad.
you get a shortcut scene, and then you don't see him forever, and then you see him for one mission, and he gets ganked.
But you
Spoilers.
he's yeah. But
I already gave a spoiler warning.
He died twice in this game. I don't know how that happened. All right, but gameplay. You drive a mech or pilot a mech. I think that's probably the term for it.
Yeah, pilot.
The very unique thing from this being like a different shooter is you have 4 like combat spots. Like you have your left arm, left shoulder, right shoulder, and you can equip different like weapons like rocket launchers, shotguns, swords, just a rod. There's a bunch of things. You have a dash ability, or eventually you could change it to being something else. Or not change it, but like you have a backpack. I don't know how to explain some of these mech terms. But you're able to customize your mech however you want, like mobility or strength, use different weapon combinations, different backpacks, different arm, leg, chest, and you can visually customizing it. But gameplay-wise, it's just like shoot, you control all 4 pieces. You could use them simultaneously and attack while boosting around. You collect blue crates on the ground for ammo and greens for health. And then you just fight different types of mechs or wanzers. And then there's like normal tanks, which are like nothing. You like kick them if you want.
Well, there's
Turrets.
also like the normal like soldiers that like.
Yeah,
walk around,
I always forget they're
very,
there.
Very rarely.
It's like, yeah, fight me, buddy. Like, but then again, like at one point or a couple points in the game, you switch to just a human form. Or human form.
Form.
You get out of your mech and then you can run around like a soldier, which I found like the auto aim is very aggressive, and you could just run flick to people, and it's like hella easy. Um, Same controls. Like you have like grenades, a rocket launcher, and like either a shotgun or assault rifle, or whatever. And you just kind of run around and shoot people. It's just an action event or action game, linear story. Gameplay is mech battles basically. The online would have been fun if it was. I don't know if it's still running.
I don't know. I asked Dan about that the other day, and then I don't think either one of
I
us
mean,
looked.
Yeah, it didn't
I
work.
looked kinda like I went into like the multiplayer like menu and like it let me like get in, but there is nobody.
Yeah,
So
I
don't
can't
know.
imagine there's too many. But
Yeah.
this would have been a pretty like after playing this, I was like, this could have had a decent multiplayer.
Well, I mean,
Like
Front Mission is a series. I don't know if they still make them, but there's a bunch of games before this.
I think they did a VR thing,
That would be
maybe.
dope.
But that's
Yeah.
really gameplay. I mean, there's like we all played on different machines. I think like controller, keyboard, and then Lauren played on the Steam Deck. So it's like I'm sure there's a bit different button combinations, but it all played the same.
Yeah, I'd say the only thing else is like it doesn't translate well over since we bought the Steam copies, it does not tell you like if you switch to a controller like what buttons are.
No, I had to do that even for mouse and keyboard. Like, and then I went and changed buttons.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, use the interact button, and I'm like, what button is that?
Use backpack button. What is the backpack button? I probably never hit it. I don't even know what it is.
But yeah, I think the only thing I want to mention with gameplay is your wanzers can like ice skate. They like slide around.
Yeah, it's like your dash.
And it's amazing. It makes the game so fun because you can just slide and move. It makes everything go like really fast until your legs get destroyed. And then you move like a sloth.
And you sacrifice like for strength or durability. You want more durability, you sacrifice speed, vice versa.
Yeah. All right. So Lauren is up next, and she's going to tell us about the art for Front Mission Evolved.
Okay, so obviously when it comes to art with a company like Square Enix being involved at some point, there's a lot of people, but I got a couple to highlight. I did look and it says that the art direction was actually handled by Imaginary Friends Studios in Singapore, which I didn't know. So my people that are listed are kind of a mixture. But the art director was Matt Olson. He was a lead environment artist for Back for Blood, which was pretty cool because we just played that recently. Silent Hill Homecoming and a couple other games. Daniel Platt was a character artist, but he also did work on Green Lantern, Rise of the Manhunters, G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra, and The Matrix, Path of Neo. Adam Richards did the concept art for the game, and apparently that's pretty much his only role in a lot of games he was a part of. He's just a concept artist. But he also did concept art for New World. Pretty cool.
Oh, you guys played that.
We did. And then Green Lantern, same games, Silent Hill Homecoming, couple of the other same ones like The Matrix and all that. Let's see. When looking up the art, I found articles that describe it as arcade-like, using bright but simple color palettes. When I think of bright colors, I think of like neon. So personally, I don't think I completely agree with that description, but that's how it's described, I guess. I don't know. You get to customize your wands or colors with whatever colors you want. I used black and purple. I did come to find that since you can switch it from glossy and matte colored, that definitely changes what shade you're getting. I made them completely glossy. It made it darker, but the blacks were very dark black, stuff like that. So I did really like that option. And yeah, that's about all I have. I mean, it's kind of hard to find a lot of stuff about bigger games like this because they focus more on gameplay than art.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out Dylan Ramsey has that weird like shaved line in his eyebrow. Whose creative choice was that? Why?
Hmm.
Yeah.
He's
Kyle,
the
maybe
most
at that
basic
time.
looking person with just like the shaved eyebrow.
Was that around the time where that was like popular though? You remember it was like very popular
It
at one
was,
point.
but it just seems odd.
I mean, I
Very.
don't know, because I feel like it's popular again now.
Well, it is, but I just meant like when it first became like real popular. Was it around that time frame when it came out?
That's
I don't know.
likely.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right. Well, Dan, you're up next, and he's going to tell us about sound design and music for Front Mission Evolved.
So, the guy that did the whole like soundtrack for this game is a good old Gary Shyman? Skyman? I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyways, this dude has worked on a lot of stuff. And I mean a lot. He kind of started with just doing like television kind of sounds, like music for different TV series, like Magnum PI and the A Team. Yeah, the A Team. Hell yeah. Anyways,
Never
a
left
lot
the
of these
genre.
like movies. What?
He never left the genre. Just one action TV show to an action video game.
Yeah. A lot of these like movies and TV shows, I don't really like know, so I'm not even gonna really go over these. I kind of only listed the only ones I knew, which was Magnum PI and the A Team. I mean, he also did like Revenge of the Nerds 3 and Revenge of the Nerds 4, but that's about it.
You
Everything
don't
else
need
is
to talk
kinda...
about those ones.
Yeah. Anyways, he
I
worked
didn't know
on
there
a
was a
lot of
fourth
video
one.
games though. He did Destroy All Humans, BioShock, Dante's Inferno, The Bureau, XCOM, Declassified,
I like
Modern
all
Warfare,
those games.
BioShock Infinite, Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor and Shadow War, Guild Wars 2, Dota 2.
Dang.
Yeah,
He's good.
he does a lot. He does a lot, man.
What a hell of a
He's also
resume.
won like
Right.
yeah. He's also won like a lot of like awards for some of these too. Like won awards for BioShock, Destroy All Humans, Middle Earth. Yeah. What a guy. What a legend.
What a legend.
Legend.
But I mean, besides like the music aspects, I don't know. The sounds by themselves are just kind of whatever.
Action.
My game got like, yeah. It's just guns shooting, missiles
I
exploding.
had to turn it down. They got real loud.
I don't know if I like didn't pay close enough attention throughout the game, but at the end, like my headset like disconnected and I had to like reconnect it, and then through the game, like there was no dialogue like playing, but like the subtitles would pop up like they were talking. I had like
Oh.
normal game sounds, but if I went into like a cutscene, they were talking again, but their mouths weren't in sync with their talking, and it really bothered me.
That's so
That
weird.
happened to me. That happened to me at the beginning too.
That happened to me like a lot. I had a lot of weird stuff to say about like cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Good on sound design and music then?
Yeah, a lot of pews, a lot of explosions.
Yeah, pews.
Gatling guns. People yelling stuff, calling you stupid, or thinking, "Take him out! Take him out!" Like just. Yeah.
Voice acting's okay though. I mean, you may have issues with the mouth syncing up, but they sound okay.
Yeah, they sound fine. What they say is weird.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
all right, cool. We'll just move into it as we're kind of transitioning anyways, but we're going to open up the floor and just talk about anything that made an impact. I do want to start out by, and Lauren mentioned it, what colors did you guys go for your wanzers?
I was purple and white until I accidentally bought a fucking stock one and spent all my money, then I was brown.
No.
You screwed me over so bad. I didn't know you bought them. I just clicked on it to see like its abilities, which then I realized after I beat the game there was a revert button.
Yeah.
Tonsa.
I didn't know. I struggled on the final boss because of that decision, during the fourth act.
So
Dumb.
I had a combination. So my body, my left arm, and my legs were all purple and blue, and then I made my right arm, which is my primary gun holding, shoulder shooting arm. I made it green and black so it stood out. So I had this really odd looking Wanzer throughout the whole game, and it looks so great in all the cutscenes. Because everyone else has an actual coherent design, and mine's just oh, look, bright green arm. What about you, Dan?
I just made mine blue orange with a little bit of white and black in it.
Nice.
My normal colors.
Did you guys what styles did you guys use? Mine looked kind of like tiger stripes in a way.
I didn't even change it.
Mine had stripes too.
Mine had stripes for the most part. I think I made my body or my legs camo. I think it was the body. It was more camo, and then the rest were kind of stripes.
I like just the default look for me. They're just colored.
Lame.
My arm and torso were purple with black tiger stripes looking, and the rest of it was just solid, shiny ass black.
Looks pretty cool. I did see Lauren's for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first major thing that I want to talk about is towards the end of the game, you run into mercenaries. One of them's named Marcus. They're kind of just there in a way. They try to stop you in every way possible, but they don't actually have a say in the battle. They're just I'm trying to get paid. But you have to face all four of them at the same time. I struggled so hard with that boss fight because I was so weak for some reason. The one girl has it's a shoulder cannon, it looked like a laser, but I think it was the Gatling gun just firing.
It's the Gatling gun.
It would tear me up.
You had to single them out. You had to just kind of run.
Yeah, so after 15 tries, I was able to do it, but I had to go in a specific order because if I didn't, I would get absolutely wrecked.
Yeah, you had to target her first, but yeah, once you figured it out, something.
So with that one, I didn't have any issue. But the one where you battle the two girls by themselves, that one I died at least 30 times.
Yeah, I had to figure out that Gatling gun would immediately take you out. So you have to
it was really fucking stupid.
You just have to use your cover, just dash, shoot, dash left, shoot, dash left.
Dude, no lie, I would go up into one of the buildings to have the armor reheal little thing in it, and I would sit there and I would push myself into the corner because I can shoot and use my missiles and everything from my shoulders, but they couldn't hit me except for the one girl using her.
I tried to cheese it and it didn't work. Didn't work.
Yeah, that was the only way.
They kept shooting me through the wall, so I was like, okay, maybe I just picked the wrong wall.
Yeah, probably.
So I just kind of circled him. Then I used the shotgun and then the one rifle, and I just ran up on the girl that shoots the rocket and just murdered her.
Yeah, near the end of the game, I ended up buying the two-handed rifle, and that thing was just one-shotting at that point. I was and that's how I ended up beating the 4 group one. I would kill them in 5-6 shots, something like that.
I ended up dual Gatling gunning towards the end.
I had one of each thing.
So at one point, in the final fight with Cornelius, I had 2 basic rifles in my left and right hand, and I had both upgraded Gatling guns on my shoulder. I literally finished that fight in less than a minute.
Yeah, lucky you. Well, that's why I realized at the end when because we talked before and you're oh, dual Gatling guns, and it's at the end of the game it would have been so easy. I struggled so bad because I couldn't afford anything because I accidentally bought the default sniper thing, and I was fuck. But then I would have realized after I sold, because I didn't know. So if you bought some, if you don't own whatever you buy, you have to buy it again. If you want the same gun you used before. So I fucked myself over that last act. I had no money. I had 400 money going into that boss fight, the final boss. So I couldn't change my layout at all.
So it seemed like whenever you bought something, like all your money was always there. But it's like if you bought like a more expensive part, you could buy like the lower part again and then you'd get your money back. Is how it looked like that system worked to me.
It
I have no
was. So
idea.
if you had like a higher end rifle, for instance, and then you traded it out for the basic rifle, like the very first one, it gave you the difference back in money.
Well, yeah.
So like for instance, like if you bought a rifle that was 10,000 and the basic rifle was $500, you'd get $9,500 back to use towards something else.
Yeah, yeah.
So you kind of have to, you can adjust it that way. So I don't know if you would have been able to do anything like that, Tonsa, but I never.
I also
don't
don't
know
know how like
it.
the whole pre-built things would have worked.
It just buys everything at like at full price. So like I like clicked on the sniper thing and it was like I had like 15,000. It was like all gone. It was like 12.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. I didn't even want to use this. And then like whatever I had back, I basically bought like my weapon, and then I had like spider legs for a while, and then I finally got enough to change them. It sucked. I mean, it was just I probably just didn't understand.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, for like the one act, it made you have to use like the quad legs, which I fucking hated.
I hated that too.
the
And then,
quad legs, and then the one was like some kind of, I don't know what they were called, like a certain type of legs.
the hover like Segway legs
Yeah, the hover legs.
But
didn't go in water.
Go on like the water.
Yeah, I find that part wasn't so bad. Like I thought it was going to be way harder. Like because they melted me like the first like 3 times, and then once I was like, oh, I can just go around this pillar, and that health spawns like super fast. I just basically go in like a route.
yeah, that's how it ended up working. I mean, I was like, go to one side, then shoot them and for a bit, and then just skate over to the other side and get that health one, shoot them for a bit, and I just went back and forth. Once you get the Gatling gun girl done, though, that other one's like nothing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she's about the only one that one hits you. Rockets never really one hit you at all, as much as they would warn you. And it's like, dude, the end boss was so fucking stupid. I hated it. I struggled so many times.
Lauren,
Like just that first phase is terrible.
Lauren, you want to talk about your experience with missiles?
So whatever kind of build I had, and not even just build, but I was playing on easy compared to everyone else who was probably playing on normal.
Yeah.
And they would literally one-shot murder me every time. Like Corey had to fight one of my boss battles because I
assumed.
literally could not do anything. Like he had to change my entire build so I could just survive for him to beat it. Like
Yeah,
for whatever reason, I was just getting killed by them.
It was just like I think it was quad missiles, and you would get hit with them, and it would immediately blow you up. It's not even like it just lowered you down. Like
So that like Cornelius guy or whatever that one you were talking about, that fight, you melted him in like a couple seconds. Once he did the one move, I immediately died every time.
that's the fight that Lauren was struggling with. That's the
Yeah,
one I beat
this game, like, so what I've realized, because like I've died quite a bit, especially then, it's all about sequences. If they open with a different move, like beating the final boss took me like for each phase forever. But the last time I did it, I beat it in like 45 seconds because he opened with a different move than he did. Like if he opened with that move every time, I would have beat it like right away.
Yeah, I did notice that. The only ones that were pretty much always the same was like that Cornelius fight, because he always opened with like flying towards you.
Yeah, like so like this game didn't have like a half health like mode, like like how most games, if you're fighting a boss and like, oh, they do a different mechanic at this point, this game would just switch it up. Like there wasn't like a health requirement or like those generator things. There wasn't like, oh, he would do this after you blew up 1 or 2. It just cycled them at different paces. Like, and you just had to like, for me, it was just end up being like, I would struggle, and then one time, oh, it didn't do this or didn't last 45 seconds.
Yeah, when I was fighting Cornelius for Lauren, he was using like this weird EMP thing that I never even seen.
Oh, yeah. Well, you had double Gatling guns.
That's true.
Probably
I basically built
Yeah.
hers. I went from whatever build she had to double Gatlins with a super strong chest, and then her arms and legs are just as basic as possible. So it's like
Yeah.
they would get destroyed so quickly, but like her chest would take like no damage from anything, and then I was able to beat him like pretty easily. And then I think she kept that build.
I did.
And I don't think you struggled with the final boss, did you?
Nope. First try, got right through it.
Yeah, nope. It took me probably 60 tries.
I know you're.
Cool.
That
texting
laser
me
one
about
shot
it.
me. It one shot. No matter what. And then like he throws down like 100 EMPs, and it's like I already can't move because my legs are shot. And
Yeah,
it's like yeah.
That's the worst part though, is when your legs are broken and you just move so slow, and you're like,
Well, it's like, well, stall while he charges. Don't hit the MPs. He threw the MPs on me. How the fuck am I supposed to stall? Like, it just came down to, like, luck of the draw. As soon as I got, like, a time where he didn't just fucking spam me or immediately go, or he actually charged it. Sometimes he wouldn't even charge it. Like, it would just immediately fire up, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I would, like, save up my thing, like, the edge, and I'm like, cool, I'll do this damage now. And then it's like, oh, immediately you just one-shot me. Like, I didn't even get to slow time down enough. Like, you can ask Matt. I was bitching because it's like, dude, it's just. And then the time I beat him is like 30 seconds because like I was able to just, you know, he fucking missed, like, or like it charged up long enough for me to do something, and it's like, cool. The end was like that too. It's like, oh, the lasers come down, like where he has like the 8 lasers on you, and it's like, I can't move, I can't do anything, my legs are broken because one fucking shot does that. And then, like, I'm using a shotgun, a rifle, a rocket launcher, and a Gatling gun. I had, like, nothing. It sucked.
oh man. All right, we've spent a lot of time on the boss. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about from the game, like the parts that it made an impact?
The cutscenes were pretty weird. Like, I had a lot of like, weird glitches, like either out of sync or like people just disappeared. Like when they jumped down out of their mechs, it just disappeared, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then it's just like the leg of the mecha just talking, and I'm like, "Oh, what?"
The only issue I really had throughout the whole game was that one mission, like I think it's like Act 2 when you're running around as Dylan, it kept crashing in the same spot. So I basically speed ran that section because I was like, if I do it fast enough, maybe it won't crash. And then I was able to get.
Are you talking about the one where you're kind of in that, I don't know, it's like a garden kind of.
Yeah, it's when you meet
it's like a courtyard.
It's when you meet Mosley.
When you meet Godwin.
Yeah.
Yeah, my game crashed too.
I didn't have it crash, it just didn't trigger.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you just couldn't go into the very middle. Because that's what made mine crash, and then I stayed away from the middle, and it was perfectly fine.
No, see, I didn't have any of that. I just, once I killed everybody, nothing happened.
Your game crashed once, right, Lauren?
More than once?
Was it at that part?
Yeah.
I wonder what that is about the Steam port.
I don't know.
Mine didn't crash. It didn't load. I had that area where you had to like escape in under like a minute. The gate never dropped. I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? So I had to like kill myself. Well, that one I restarted and realized after if you kill yourself, you load checkpoints and you have to do the whole mission all over again.
Yeah,
that one that you guys had it crash on, I killed myself and it skipped me. It skipped me forward.
That's nice. That would have been nice. I had to redo that mission 3 times.
Yeah.
I will say I feel like your AI teammates don't do anything.
They don't do anything.
They just stand there and it's like, what
oh no, they'll shoot and do and like shoot missions. Like they do no damage and take no damage. So it's like they're not there for any reason.
I feel like I didn't see them shoot like at all. Like they always just like followed like right on me and just stood there, and I was like, oh.
They were never next to me. They were always just like posted up somewhere, fighting one for an hour while I killed everything else, and they come back over and just to kill that last one, and it's still full health.
Yeah.
There's a boss fight where one of them's like, "Oh, I'll snipe from above." I think it might be the two
It-
girls.
it
Like,
is.
They
Those
do
two
nothing.
girls, yeah.
Yeah, or like during the Cornelius fight or whatever, that last one we were just talking about. Oh, and the fight before that, they're like, "Oh, we'll put support," and it's like, "What? Nothing happened. You guys have never did anything to help me." The only time anything happened is when they're like, "All right, I'm gonna break this bridge and cut them off." That happened twice in the game.
Oh, I know, right? Self-sacrifice. You go on.
Which, oh my god, I feel like this game's story was like you were supposed to have so much connection to things and you didn't.
Yeah.
Like the love interest built up, your friendship with these guys where they're like sacrificing their lives and like it's like what? We're
Dude,
cool
I
like
will say
that?
I didn't like the two guys that were just like randomly with you at one point. I was
Yeah, I
like,
don't know why they were with you. Like it's like we tried to
Yeah.
kill each other in the beginning. Like
Yeah, and then they act like it never happened. They're just like, oh yeah, the enemy of my enemy, and it's like, oh okay, and then you
Yeah,
guys are
we're
like
cool
best
now.
buds, and it's like, what?
dap me up, like let's go. Save
love-
my girlfriend. We're also developed this weird
Yeah.
connection with her immediately where she's jealous of my person I've been working with forever.
I also love that the story just goes off the rails because, like, oh, it starts in New York City and then you end the game on, like, in a space
It
station.
makes you yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
You guys
okay.
did you guys realize this is the second game where the Swords of Democles plays a role?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought about that. I was like, oh, there's two of them. This one had a lot of like mythology, like that's kind of what these Square Enix and stuff games do. But it's like we had the Sword of Democles, we have the Tower of Babel, and it's like all this. It's just weird. That story made no
Yeah.
sense to me.
Did we play another game with Sword of?
Oh,
Democles
Dan, I
already?
hate you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
Rise,
is it?
Son of Rome. It's like the whole plot.
Yeah,
Oh,
Damocles.
nice.
Damocles! I do like the parts though where you're in like the airship thing and you just get to shoot people as it flies around. You feel like such
Dude,
a
Well,
badass.
the one
man,
part, they're
why
like,
can't
get
I
to
get
your
that
left.
done?
And then, yeah, why can't I get the instant melt?
Yeah.
But it was like, shoot them, they're coming down. I was like, I can't fucking, you got to turn the airship, man. What do you want from me?
Oh,
But other than
man.
that, like, as much gripe as I bitch and complained, like, I had a great time playing it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of faults.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
It just does some weird stuff.
The story, like, I was watching and I was like, what? I feel like I'm playing like four different, like there's like a giant cut, like, part left out, like from when you first meet the girl to then like she's like telling you not to join the army, and then it's like you meet up with her and now she's in love with you. It's really weird. And they like force that part, and then they kill your dad twice, and then he kills him for free. Like he talks about being a mercenary, he's like, not often do you see me kill for free, or whatever he says. Like, or you should feel special because I did this, or whatever he said. And I was like, I like how we thought you killed him, you didn't kill him, then you came back and killed him for free. After saying like no bad blood or whatever. Just money.
Also, when you do the missions with Dylan Ramsey, and it's like these wanzers show up, and they're like, "You gotta take it out," and it just looks at you. I'm like, man, you could have killed me instantly. Instantly, you shoot me once with that missile launcher on your shoulder.
That's what I was like saying, like when it's like, oh, you fight the little guys, and it's like, yeah, like I forgot about them even being a thing because one bullet, they're dead.
Did you guys collect any of the collectibles throughout the missions? Did you do like the sensors and get the emblems?
I
mean,
never completed
I got
anything.
some, but yeah, I didn't complete them like fully.
Lauren, did you collect anything?
I just got some, but I didn't complete them either.
Well,
I
it's funny.
got like 5 out of 5 key cards on one thing on accident.
It's funny because you collect these things and it just gives you money during the mission. But if you go into the menu, it tells you like a certain phase. So when you get like you complete each phase, that's when you get like new decals and you get like new like battle skills and guns and stuff. And I'm like, why is this not the mission reward? Like I don't understand. Like instead of it being like, oh, you collected all 5 data key cards, like here's this decal. It's like, no, you gotta collect 30 and you'll finish phase 1 of collecting them, and then you get this
Oh, I see
battle
what you're
item. And it's like, what? Why?
Yeah, it should be based on like mission wise.
Yeah, it was super weird how that was all set up.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, I think overall though, like it's fast paced and it goes by pretty quickly. Um, I don't know. Like it's just the story's a little rough.
Yeah. I've been trying to pay attention because like I would skip stuff on accident because of just like when it's like, oh, you're going to the hangar, and I'm like, cool, blah blah blah, and I'll hit like spacebar and immediately catch you out of the like dialogue, and I'm like, oh, hopefully they didn't tell me how to beat like or what weapons I should be using.
Yeah, it just gives you like suggestions when you're in the hangar. Like, oh, you should do this.
Well,
and
they're
then,
just they're talking, and then I accidentally just like because I'm just got done like I'm like going, and then it's like, oh, whoops.
what were your guys' times to completion? Speedrunner Dan, what'd you finish it in?
Why'd you go to me first? I don't
Because
know
you're
if this is
speedrunner, man.
updated? Because I feel like this is wrong. Because I feel like this was really quick. But it says 5.7 hours.
Nah, that's probably not that bad. I beat mine in 6.8.
6.9.
Oh, nice. Beat you again.
Always.
Mine says 7.1, but when I checked before I went and got ice cream, it was 7. So
Did you leave it
I don't
on
know,
for 10
like-
minutes?
I don't think so. But I was gone longer than 10 minutes.
Hell yeah, speedrunner Dan, let's fucking go!
Yeah.
Always, every game.
Well, if you first tried like I was probably on par, like doing really well, and then that final boss, I got crippled. I was getting
I
mad.
was gonna say that final boss, like I died maybe 2-3 times.
Oh, I died like 6.
And then it also like kept breaking like my legs, so like I kept going
Yeah.
super slow.
And I was like, this
And
is
I could
awful.
do like
There's 2
no damage
repairs.
to it because then he'd break like my arms, and then my accuracy was ass with a rifle. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
fun
good
stuff.
times.
I hated it.
Yeah,
Was,
that was
was there anything else you guys want to talk about for this section? Anything else that made an impact?
Nope.
All right.
No,
Well,
it's a little hard since the game's
No, I don't
almost the
think so.
same each time. Just a little different per mission.
that's true.
Yeah.
I
Still
guess-
fun though.
I guess I'll just point out, like, it's you alternate between like cities, and then there's the random Antarctica level, and then the space station.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure sometimes why we were where, and like we were doing things for like forts, and then we take it back, and then like I don't know. The story's a little weird.
I feel like no matter like story wise, it never went good. It was always like, hey man, we did all this, but yeah, everything's still getting blown
I took
up.
out another elevator thing, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any emotional impact when Hamilton gets murdered?
No.
No.
There was no. This game didn't build up their characters. Like it was like he was there, then wasn't there, then like
And then there, and then wasn't
Yeah.
there, and then was there, and then he died, and then it's like, oh.
you
then-
should have like in like any other game like built you up and like had time to slow cook things. Like also when she like ran off, like when she gets like brainwashed, it's like no her. I'm like, all right, who we gotta fight now? Like I don't.
Yeah,
My
she's gone.
thing was, it was like, you're fighting these people, you're taking their health down, and then as soon as you finish like the boss battle, you go into the cutscene, and they're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
They win with whatever the fuck they're doing, and then at the very end, when you're fighting all 4 people, his mech is like completely destroyed. He's like about to die, and it's like, oh, okay.
Kill
and he's
me!
the only person that they even like mention. Everyone else, they're just, I don't know. They're dead. They're gone. I don't even know.
Yeah. Also, the Marcus dude he's the tech, like out of all the bad guys and all the thing, he's the only one you have a rapport with. He like fights you,
Oh, yeah.
tells me it's all about money, and then you're like, oh, he killed my dad, and you chase him down, you fight him again. He's like, sorry, loser, I'm out, and then like you fight him again, and then he randomly appears when you meet up with your dad again and kills your dad for real this time, but for free after he said he's only motivated about money. Then you fight him again. It's like
worst mercenary ever.
He's he's the antagonist. Everybody else going on. It's like, what? He's just toying with you.
I also love when you finally beat Cornelius. You just leave his broken ass mech. I'll be stabbing the shit out of that thing, stomping on it, shooting it with missiles.
He also was really cocky for somebody that lost like 3 times.
I know, right? He's like, oh, you can't beat me. I'm the best.
I got the edge power. Okay, fucking emo bastard, you edge lord.
I also got the edge power.
Yeah, but mine's good, you pussy. Like, it's just so weird. The dialogue, like that voice acting's fine. I felt like the character art, whatever's good. It's just like I just didn't understand some of the points. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. All right, let's move into recommendation because I'm pretty excited to hear these. Each episode we go around, we find out if we would recommend the game and why or why not. So starting with Dan, would you recommend this game and why or why not?
Yes. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I felt like it was fun and all, but playing this, it made me just want to go play Titanfall. I was like, I feel like I could just be playing Titanfall instead of this, you know. But I mean, it's on sale right now for $5, but normally it's $10. So I mean, it's really not that bad for $10. It's just I don't. If you're gonna end up playing it, don't expect like something great and magnificent from it or anything like that. It's just okay.
Lauren,
If you like shooty games or mechs, then yes. If you don't like shooty games or mechs, think they're cool anyways, then no. And I only say that because I'm not a big shooter person, and I have small hands, so playing on the Steam Deck, like, my hands would hurt so bad after playing. But I did really like the mechs. I thought those were really cool. I thought it was done well for what it was. So, I would say yeah in that aspect.
Tonsa.
Yeah, it was fun. Like, I had more fun just playing. I don't know what that story really was. So there's not like a deep plot there. But you can customize your mech, add a bunch of different abilities. It might have replay about I don't know if there's like a new game plus or anything. I just kind of, when the credits rolled, I took a picture and then walked away. And then but like I enjoyed it. I definitely was like, if there's another mech game like this, I'd play it. Like
Titanfall.
Well, yeah, besides Titanfall, I've played Titanfall. But like, there's another game that's like this that I thought this was, and it's not, and I can't remember what game. There's like, I just remember there being I don't know if it was a Gundam. I just remember there being like a guy that was like talking trash to you the whole time, and you beat him, and then like he runs away, and then like the whole game he's like a coward. Like after that,
a lot of games.
Yeah, probably. I'm thinking of something specific, but I don't know the name of it. But yeah, I recommend it. At its price point, it's definitely fine. I think as a 10-year-old game or 12-year-old game, it handled pretty well. We had a little complications. I just had like events not trigger, and like the button layout's a little weird for keyboard and mouse, but you can map it to however you think it'd work. So I think I recommend it.
I would also recommend it. This is my second time playing this, and I remember it being much better. I remember playing it before and really liking the gameplay, which that carried over. I enjoyed it a lot this time too, because like I said, it's really fast. I feel like I'm powerful in my mech, so I'm just destroying shit like real fast. But I don't remember the story being that wonky when I played it before.
I don't know if it's necessarily like for a game that's under 10 hours, they have to kind of cut that round. And back then, that's what like your mainline games were, unless you were playing like a JRPG. So it probably just kind of fit the structure of like everything else around that time period.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's just like the story is a little weird. You kind of get over that. I did have those couple technical problems. I don't know what that was exactly, but that's the only spot in the game that I had those, so not that bad. But yeah, overall I enjoyed it. I like the customization of the wanzers because they let you build that basically however you want until they force you to use a certain thing in the missions.
Yeah,
Like
that's the only part I hated.
yeah, it's like it forces you to use like certain legs, which it makes sense because of like the terrain and stuff, but it's kind of annoying because I'm like, I don't want to change my mech. I'm just starting to get it to the way I wanted it to be. But overall, I would definitely recommend it, and for $5, it's enjoyable just to go around and destroy stuff. So I'd recommend it. Towards the end of each episode, we dive into the review page of Steam and read some reviews for the game we're playing in a segment called Good, Bad, and Funny. So for every game, we dive into the Steam review dungeon, usually Steam. We find one good review, one bad review, and a review that we find funny, and then we can just read other ones as we go. Did you guys have any reviews you want to read?
I'm trying to I'm going to go a little deeper because a lot of these there's a lot of negative reviews, but it seems like people who are fans of the series already. Like if you love the front mission games, Evolved is nothing like them. I condemn them for trying something new. Yikes. That's like the consensus is.
Yeah, this one reviewed like overall way worse than the other ones. I think this got like a 6 out of 10 from most like big game like company, like the review companies and stuff. So this one did not go over well, and I don't necessarily think this is canon from what I was reading.
No, it seems like it's a one-off. That's probably why the story's all weird.
I thought it was a reboot.
No, they don't.
I'm not
believe
sure.
So? Like I know there was like a reboot, like or they're remaking the first game, like coming out soon. Because when I like originally Googled this, I guess a good review is like Lost Gem, or this is a Lost Gem. The story's a little cringe at some areas, but if you're looking for a solid mech experience, I'd say give it a try. Like consensus is either it's not a bad mech game, story's bad, or like it's a fault to the. Okay, this one's kind of funny. It's a bad review. Front mission edge lore. That's all they put.
All about the edge.
Yeah. I don't know. This is the most like out of everything we've talked about. This is the most like mixed game. I think. Like scrolling through the comments, and like the downfall is like why we even came up with this like whole like spot is usually there's funny ones. There's not like even a meme joke one. Like that one's,
yeah.
I'm like real far too. I'm like back a couple like 2020. Like some or 20 now I'm at 2016. There's not even like a funny one. It's just either you like the game or just thought it was okay enough to get like a recommended, or you hate it because you like the franchise. And apparently this franchise is huge where everybody's played all the other games and played this one, which makes sense, I guess.
This one's pretty good. It says not recommended. 0.8 hours on record. Combat handles like a fat lady on skates with a twisted ankle. If you want intuitive combat, this is not the game for you.
What?
What?
I thought that was the best part.
Right. So weird. There's another one that just says it's poop. That's it.
Nice.
There's a good one that says, big robot, go shooty shoot, big guns, edge system, fuck yeah. That's it.
Fuck yeah.
That's what I wanted, but guess when that was written?
2010.
This year. But it's down, if you scroll far enough down, it's with the 2014 reviews. I don't know why that like that. Like,
unless it was edited, maybe?
Maybe.
I don't know.
This one just says, broke my computer. And then it's not recommended.
So this review, it's a recommended review. It just says yes.
Nice. That's like something. That's a review that I would leave because I'm just too lazy to type it out.
I do like
one, it is a game. That's all it says.
It is a game.
I like this game one that's just show me your edge, Dylan Ramsey. And then the other next to it's this is not front mission. I think like that's considered consent. If you played front missions, probably don't play this one, I guess, or you already know about it.
Yeah. This is a review from 2018. This person has 65 hours, but 2018 they said one of my favorite games of all time. The multiplayer mode is awesome.
Oh, we didn't get to play multiplayer.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's boot it up. Do a private
That's all I
game.
play. Yeah.
Did you guys know that around this time a game called Chrome Hounds came out?
Chrome Hounds, never heard of it.
It's like it's also mechs, but it was exclusively online. That's all it was. There wasn't a story to it.
Oh yeah, I recognize this game.
Yeah, and that one people talk like really highly of, and I was like, man, I wish I had a chance to play that game, but the servers have been shut down forever.
There's like a lot of weird games that like I think would do really good now that like had like solid multiplayers, but no one played them because no one ventured off to like the main three. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially during that
seen
time
this
period.
game before. Never played
What?
it though. I've definitely seen this Chrome
Oh, yeah.
Hounds game before.
Yeah. All right, you guys good for reviews?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, Lauren has the pick for the month of October. So she's going to tell everyone what game we're playing and why she chose it.
Ooh.
All right. Well, most of you already know what it is, but it's East Origin. I picked it because sorry, Dan, you're the only one that didn't know. But so I'm a huge fan of the series, as everyone knows. Ever since 8 came out and I tried it for the first time, I really enjoyed it. So I have most of the games now that I can find anyways, physically, and I have them all digitally. The game is one of the shortest ones, so it actually falls in the category of like our, our guideline for what games we can pick. It's reviewed really high. I mean, it's Falcom. They usually don't go wrong when they make a game, so I'm pretty excited to play it.
The only thing I will say is, like, as somebody who just recently started playing this game, I'm only like, I played like a month or two back, and I only have like 25 minutes to 30 minutes. The controls are really not optimized for a computer, even with a controller.
Okay, I played it on the PS4, so
It might be best to play it on something like that. It's like I have it on Steam, and I have it like button mapped to my controller, but like I still feel like I'm hitting buttons and they're not doing anything, or they're not there. I don't know.
But you have to like unlock things as you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, you
like,
don't have like many skills until you get further into the dungeon and you start unlocking skills. There's not a lot to it at the beginning.
well, like there's like a shield block thing you do, and like it didn't work, and then I like unconnected my controller and like rebooted the game and stuff. Then it worked. Like I was hitting the button, it told me to hit. That's the only thing I think. I think the game's gonna be fine. I just wanted to let everybody know ahead of time that the controls might be wonky.
Yeah, I'll have to mess with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick.
Yeast Origin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Dan, before you buy it, I'm going to buy it for the Switch. So if you want to play my PS4 copy, you can.
Cool.
Just want to let you know ahead of time.
Should be exciting. It's our first like old school JRPG, so it should be probably some grinding because we'll get our ass beat, I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
Not
when I
me.
played it, I was playing it on Twitch, and there was some of it that was a little tough because I wasn't used to that old school JRPG like fighting. So I had to get used to it.
I will say when you say like JRPG, it's like this is like weird because it's an action RPG,
Right.
and well, I mean, I'll save most of what I'm going to say for the episode because like I said, I have already kind of dived into this game like a month or two ago. Like I'm not very far. It says I have 0.7 hours played.
Yeah.
Nice. Dan, go for that 5-hour speed run or whatever.
Yeah.
Good luck, my guy.
All right. Great. I had a lot of fun today talking about Front Mission Evolved on NLGC, but before we go, we wanted to share where you can find us online.
First, we have a YouTube channel called Nerdlag where we'll be uploading some great content. So make sure to subscribe for the latest videos. We have a Facebook page at Nerdlag Game Club. Make sure to like the page so you can get the latest news about the podcast. You can also find us over on Twitter at Nerdlag, where we share some of the latest gaming news and stuff we find interesting. And lastly, we have a Discord at Nerdlag where you can talk to us in voice chat and join in some discussion about everything nerdy like video games, anime, movies, and chat with like-minded people. If you'd like to join, ask for an invite. We also want to thank everyone that tuned in for this episode. And if you enjoyed it, make sure you share it with your friends. And also follow us on Spotify. It really helps.
On to the final credits. At the end of each episode, we just go around and talk about any gaming experiences, gaming news, or just anything going on in the Nerdlag world, and just talk for a few minutes before we close out the episode. Is there anything you guys want to talk about?
We have to do it.
Yeah, a raft update. We've still not played Raft.
Woo!
Yeah, man.
I'm pretty sure it's July. I think I'm because Adam was like, "It's your fault," and I'm like, "What do you mean it's my fault? No one asked me to play." And then we last played July 1st, that day of the update.
Hell yeah, let's
Yeah.
go.
Nice.
They're
Yeah,
never
we're
going
so
to beat
good.
Raft.
Oh, we'll beat it one day.
Yeah, one
No,
day.
you won't.
We gotta build up some segments for this, right? Like it's only been like the last 5 podcasts or something.
Yeah,
I think you've been talking about it since we started the podcast, though.
I think so. Maybe.
Like, wait, beforehand?
You were playing it, and then you stopped playing it for a while, then you
We played
restarted with
before the-
Adam. Yeah,
Yeah.
you did. You played it you and Dan for a while, and then you restarted with Adam, and then you played it for a little while, and then you haven't played it since, what you said, July 1st?
Yeah, July 1st.
It's never getting done. It's fine. We're moving into October. You guys haven't even thought about playing it.
You're right. There's
No,
so many.
we thought about playing it.
Yeah, like I said, they called me out the other day, and I was like, "You guys can ask me anytime."
That's funny. What, you want Valorant update too? You guys do this every time too.
Dan's been playing. I've been playing WoW.
Playing.
They're changing a map up, so
Wow.
Wow.
basically it.
Wow.
But you're playing the World of Warcraft, doing the Wrath of the Lich King like pre-patch stuff, which next week it drops. I thought I'd have a character max level. I still like 20 on 2 different characters.
Of course.
Nerd.
I'm the worst. Basically it.
Lauren, have you
There's
been
a-
playing anything?
Made in Abyss.
Is that it?
I think so. I don't think I've really played anything else. I mean, since we did the last podcast. Did we do that one when I was still in Tennessee? I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I ended up in Tennessee longer than what I was supposed to. So I didn't get much gaming done. I've been watching anime in between there though.
Hell yeah.
Anything new to talk about in the anime world?
Let me think. I mean, they announced like some new stuff. You would know they announced the Nier Automata anime. That looks like it'll be pretty good. I mean, anyone that's a fan of the series is pretty hype about it. The guy that makes it did say that he's going to change it a little bit to make it more suited for an anime and not a game. So I'm excited to see how that plays
You
out.
can't have 20 playthroughs of an anime.
I'm excited
Exactly.
for that too.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. And then there's like a couple other things, like, you know, My Dress Up Darling got a new season coming out. They're remaking some other stuff, like rebooting it from years ago.
Yeah,
So-
panning and stalking. I
Yeah.
see. Like Cyberpunk kind of took over. I still need to watch that. I also want to play the game. I'm gonna join that bandwagon.
Okay.
And then Chainsaw Man's coming out soon, like 2 weeks. 2 weeks?
yeah,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
it's October. So
Yeah, I don't remember when they said October.
What was that movie you watched just recently? Like, was it Violent Evergarden?
yeah, so I rewatched Violet Evergarden and then watched the movie after, and it honestly, like, I expected it to kind of like skip a lot of stuff, but it tied up the series really well. Like, it was
Good.
very good, so I wasn't disappointed with me spending, hours going through all of it. The movie was like something crazy, like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, you watched that for a while.
Yeah, it was good though. I mean, that studio never disappoints, so it was good. It looked really good too.
I restarted Final Fantasy X last night.
Oh, you caved in. You're playing it now, huh?
Yeah, finally booted it up, started playing it. Played it for
Did you hate
I
it?
don't know, probably around 2 hours. Um, it's pretty. I like forgot how slow it is at the beginning, as with most Final
Yeah, it's about to
Fantasy
say
games.
that's like all like anything that's in that style is usually like they cram the first like 2-3 hours of like learning the game, the mechanics, the world, and then like after that, that's when they pick up.
Yeah, because I when I ended 2 hours in, I just got another tutorial for something, and I was like, man, that's crazy. Like I'm still getting tutorials. But it holds up pretty well. I'm playing the remastered one, so it looks graphically, it's like upscaled and stuff. It looks pretty good. Their faces look a little strange. They just kind of all look like they have like poofy cheeks. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Chubby
But
cheek.
overall, I've been enjoying it. But that's been about the only thing I've been doing. I've did the GameCube challenge. Started Metal Gear Solid, which
Woo!
I look clueless playing that game, man. I never know what I'm supposed to be doing.
I haven't been able to watch. I've been at work every time you've like streamed it, so I haven't been able to see any of it.
Yeah, it's pretty good so far. I mean, the story is wild and goofy, which I expected, but just some of the gameplay portions of things, I'm like, where am I supposed to go or how am I supposed to do this? Because it doesn't really tell you anything. It just kind of tells you,
Yeah,
like, oh, you need to go to the basement floor 2, and then you go down there, and they're like, okay, but nothing's happening down here. What am I supposed to be doing? And then it's like, oh, you have to C4 this wall. And I'm like, well, how am I supposed to know that? You never even mentioned C4. So there's a little bit of a learning curve, but what I've played of it is pretty fun. So that's pretty cool. But that's all I got.
I think I'm gonna play Deathloop. That's basically it for me.
Hell yeah, let's go.
I just downloaded it,
Um,
like it just finished.
But I mean, I haven't really been playing anything. Like I played like a little bit of like Call of the Lamb, some Temtem. The
Right.
Modern Warfare 2 beta has been
Oh yeah, I was gonna
going
ask you
on for
about
the
that
last
because you
like 2
streamed when I
days.
was at work.
Yeah. I've been playing that the last 2 nights.
Good, bad. What's your what do you think of it? Is it just
I
Call of
don't know,
Duty?
to be honest with you. Like it's Call of Duty, but it reminds me a little bit of like Modern Warfare like 2019, but not exactly.
I figured they would be
But
almost that same engine, right?
I think so. It's pretty close. Like they it's weird because the first time I played it, I used like my keyboard, which C is to like crouch, but like if you're running, like you'll do like a slide, and if you hit control while you're running, you'll dolphin dive, which is really weird. But if I play on controller, if you're running and you tap B to like crouch, you'll slide. But if you hold B while you're running, you dolphin dive. Like it's kind of
Sure.
weird.
Isn't that how Black Ops 2 was?
I don't remember.
I think so because I played tactical. I everything was done through the analog stick, so I remember I think holding it you dolphin dived and tapping you. Yeah, that sounds normal to me.
No, Black Ops 2 you can slide.
Oh, maybe you just dolphin dive. Never mind. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
you just do. Yeah. Because they didn't introduce like sliding until
Sliding.
like
Yeah, never mind.
Advanced Warfare or
I,
Infinite Warfare,
I
something
was
like that.
I guess I was just thinking about crouching, like drop shotting.
But I don't know. It's weird how they have it set up because it's like you level up like one like basic gun, like the M4 for instance. Once you level
Mhm.
that up, like you unlock, I think you unlock like a burst rifle and a Oh god, I don't know. What
Like, is
the
it
other one
like
An
is it
LMG.
is it anything
like
like MW2? Is it like the same guns? Like, is the tar in it? Like, that wasn't a burst rifle in that game originally. Then they brought it back and it was a burst rifle.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I didn't
played
play
a-
like the multiplayer of MW2, like the
I
original
guess
one.
I played like those were like where I used to play like a degenerate amount of hours of like shooter games.
Yeah, the first Call of Duty I played online was Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 3. So it's like multiplayer wise, I don't know the guns. Like I've played like the campaigns, but I don't know like the guns.
Different maps. I've seen some maps. And I was
Oh,
like, I don't know.
they have different maps. I don't know any of the maps. Like they
Yeah.
don't look familiar to me.
I didn't see
But the
anything
maps
of.
are one of my favorite things in this one. They introduced what is called a drill charge as like a
Mhm.
lethal, and you fucking throw it onto like surfaces, and it's kind of like Fuse from fucking Siege, where you plant the fucking thing and then it shoots a bunch of grenades through the other side.
Mhm.
It's really nice. I love it. I stuck someone with it the other day and blew him up.
That's
Pretty
cool. I
fucking
mean,
cool.
I'll have to wait. I was just talking to somebody about it the other day, and they're like, "You gotta go get it," and I'm like, "Probably not." Like, unless it does
is
something
open beta,
different.
so you could download it. Give the beta a try.
Is it open beta? Nothing's like
Yeah,
everything's like if you
Open
pre-order.
beta started like today
Oh,
until like Monday.
is it like? Nah, this is gonna be not podcast. I'll ask you later.
All right, you guys good?
Anyways, yeah.
All right. So I had fun having this little extra time at the end of this episode, but I think it's time for us to install the next game and get ready for the next episode. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Hey.
Hey.